Good morning. For reading this morning, our topic is readers identify the main topic of a multi paragraph text as well as the focus of specific paragraphs within the text. Basically, I want you to be able to read a page in a story and basically tell me what was that page about? What was the main topic? And you could do that over a whole book as well. The book that I'm going to read is also about the Pilgrims from Plymouth, England. Okay. We've been talking about immigration, why people immigrate from one country to another. Okay. I'm going to get into those reasons later when we do social studies, but this book is going to have to do with social studies. Okay, so we're going to use our reading and social studies together. All right, so remember last week I read On the Mayflower, and you were, okay, let me remember, hold on, sorry. We were writing an informational piece, right? We were taking what we learned from this book and we were rewriting it in a writer's workshop informational piece with a topic, a first, next, and last, and a closing, and details to piggyback on the first, next, and last. We're not going to do writer's workshop this week, boys and girls, but we are going to do a type of writing where we're going to discuss the main topic of what we read. So it's really only like a sentence for each page. Okay. So you want to have that ready. And the book that I'm going to use is The Pilgrims of Plymouth. Now, it's a long book, so I'm only going to read a few pages a day. And you're going to use your post it notes to stop and jot. But this time, you're really writing about what did I just read? Can I say it in a sentence or two? Could I tell someone about the main topic of that paragraph? So I'm going to model it for you today. And today, if you need to, you can write down how what I think the main topic is. And maybe you could write about the main topic in your own words. Okay, so let's model that today, and then we'll move on from there with the rest of the book during the week. Okay, so this is called The Pilgrims of Plymouth, and it's written and illustrated by Marcia Sewell. Okay. Obviously, there are other people from other countries who have immigrated to America. We'll talk about that later in social studies. Okay. But this is a perfect book to restate the main topic, what you learned. Okay. Because the language is a little different, but boys and girls, you are awesome at interpreting difficult books. I've heard you do it in class and it just blows my mind. So let's do it again. Blow your parents' mind. Okay. The Pilgrims of Plymouth. The Pilgrims of Plymouth. My dog's going crazy over there on the couch. You okay, Bindi? Okay. So, boys and girls, here's the picture. Okay. And I'm going to read. I, Governor Bradford, calls us pilgrims. We are English, and England was our home. We left behind much that we loved when we came to America. But our lives were ruled by King James, and for many years it seemed as though our own very hearts were in prison in England. We believe it is the Bible only that can instruct us in the ways of the Lord. We have to worship freely. September 1620, our lives changed. We were 70 men folk and women folk, 32 children, and a handful of roosters and hens and 2 dogs gathered together on a dock in Plymouth, England, ready to set sail for America in a small ship called the Mayflower. It is true that among us were and are poor who are not pilgrims, and we call them strangers, though the name displeases them some. They come to America not to form a godly community, but to gain wealth. Our trip was costly, but English merchants loaned us money, hoping to prosper in time by our successful settlement. Okay, so talk about what that means. When I talked about it out loud, this is what I wrote. Okay, so look at my little post-it here. It says, King James was the ruler of England. They felt like their hearts were in prison because they wanted to worship God in their way. And the ruler said, no, you can't. So then I wrote, many went to America for a free life. Others went to gain wealth. Remember, they called those pilgrims strangers. Pilgrims were very, very religious, and they wanted to practice their religion in the way that they wanted to. So that was one of the main reasons they came to America. So if you're going to identify the main topic of that page, I wrote, Pilgrims came to America to worship the Bible, and others came for wealth. Okay, so let's do the second page. Okay, so here's the stormy seas. There's the little Mayflower. Okay, remember we talked about how dangerous the travel was? Okay, so let's look here. After an abundance of prayers and tears, we made our farewells dockside and boarded our small ship. Our voyage across the Atlantic Ocean began with a prosperous wind, but the sea soon became sharp and violent, and storms howled about us. Water washed across and down through the decks and almost took John Howland overboard. A baby was born, Oceanus Hopkins. He was named. November 12th, a Sabbath day, we arrived in America. We praised God for our safe journey and this new land. Okay, so you can turn and talk for a second. You can press pause. What's the main topic of that page I just read? Okay. My sentence is, it was a dangerous journey with rough seas and weather. And then you might have noticed a little connection from the other book that we read last week on the Mayflower. Do you remember that it mentioned that Oceanus was born, that the lady had a baby, and that there were terrible storms? So those are very factual, right? That's from one book to another. Okay. Again, main topic, it was a dangerous journey. Okay, so now I'm going to read the second page and I'm going to identify the main topic there. We intended to form our plantation someplace about the Hudson River in the territory of Northern Virginia, but we were off course and weary with our voyage. It is grateful we were to reach any land safely, and thus we came to New England, first landing on the point of Cape Cod. While still on board ship in preparation for life in America, we agreed upon laws of behavior. The freemen signed their names to this document, and we elected John Carver as our governor. Okay, so you can turn and talk. What did you gather from that page? What is the main topic? You could press pause because I'm going to read mine. I wrote, the voyage went off course. They landed in New England, not Virginia. They signed laws as to how to behave when they settled there. Okay, just like we have laws. If you didn't have laws, things would be out of control. So they knew that before we settle here, we're going to sign this paper that says we're going to do this, we're going to do this, and we're going to do this, and we're going to follow the laws. Okay. All right. So you may listen to my reading again on those three pages. Yes, on the 3 pages. And if you need help, you can use my main topic. But I want to see how you can take what you learned and just summarize it in a sentence or two. What was it about? What was the main topic of the page that you read? Sayonara for now. Again. Catch you later for foundations. And remember, this is your writing. So under writing, it's going to be main topic of the Pilgrims of Plymouth. Okay? No writer's workshop. We're still doing informational, aren't we? By identifying the main topic, and we're reading a nonfiction book.